Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Rabbi Brown looks really good, doesn't he? This is Rabbi Stacy Schlein and her husband Jeremy Sosin, who are joining us this evening to beautify our services. And that beautiful melody you heard was Jeremy's composition that we will hear later as L'Chad Odi. So it's absolutely gorgeous. So we wanted to sort of familiarize yourselves with the nigun of that melody, and you'll hear it later. So welcome.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here, and I can't tell you how much it means to see Rabbi Horowitz here. I have a wonderful, long-standing relationship with this congregation. I grew up in Cleveland and was very involved in youth group and had a lot of friends in this congregation and came to services kind of often on Merriman Road, not here. But it always makes me feel at home when I come here because I've been welcomed for, I'm not going to tell you how many years, many, many years. So it feels like coming home. As we enter into Shabbat today, I want you to think about places where you find openings, places where you can enter, where there is welcome. And we will start our service first by creating one of those spaces of welcome by lighting the Shabbat candles. I'd like to invite Jerry and Sherry Ackman to please come forward to do the candle blessing.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge to which we live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offering of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivonu la'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. L'Chad Odi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat נקבה.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ותהילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבה.
Verse 5.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורף קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני יליך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבה.
Please rise and face the entrance to your home or to the sanctuary.
בואי בשלום, עטרת מעלה, גם בשמחה וסעודה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבה. בני שבת נקבה. בני שבת נקבה.
Page 24, Shalom Aleichem.
שלום עליכם, מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש
Betsy Kaddish, page 26. Yigada v'ikada shemei rabba v'yomad yifrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'yomechon uv'chayedecho be'Yisrael v'gala v'gala u'bizman karib v'maru Amen Yehi shmei rabba mevarach Le'alam u'ame'amaya yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yidroma v'yitnasi v'yitadar v'yitali v'yitalal shemei d'kodesh barichu le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damira me'ama v'maru Amen.
Now that we've brought in the light that joins us for Shabbat and the melodies for Kabbalat Shabbat, inviting us to welcome and to be open, we're now standing together as a community, more joined together by that added element and blessing and beauty of Shabbat. So we keep that in our hearts and our minds as we turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu.
Lai 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 lai
Page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Bayeh. Please be seated and join me in chanting V'ahavta on page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher Elohim etzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vleftecha b'derech u'v'shokpecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame the oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in the dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let's continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing at the shores of the sea.
Page 40. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh veleh, nora tehilot oseh veleh. Malachutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Ze'elianu ve'ameru, ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh veleh, nora tehilot oseh veleh. Please turn to page 42 as we listen to the words of Hashkivenu, the words that we say when we lie down at night and then when we wake up in the morning, with God sheltering us with his peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu
we shift into the tefillah, we approach it initially by connecting ourselves and reminding ourselves of who we are, where we come from, and how this strengthens our relationship with one another, and we hope with God, or that which is divine. We remember these sacred relationships, but also remind ourselves of our individuality. As we join together, as you rise, on page 46 for Tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, Elayon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shomo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah, Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechakeh ha'chaim b'chesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha ba'al gevurot umidam melech mimit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yihalucha sala. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated.
Turn to page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to the joy and our minds to the truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We take these words to heart as we shift our prayers and our thoughts to that of peace. We turn to page 60 for Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Ra.
please take a few moments for silent meditation. Ose shalom imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'yoko Yisrael, ve'iru imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'yoko Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'yako 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 Yisrael.
When we began our service this evening, I invited you to think about ways to find an opening. I shared with you a little bit about how I always felt that the doors of the synagogue were always so open and welcoming to me when I came and was here as a teenager with my friends during youth group. And I feel that welcome each time that we come when we're here for a variety of services. It's been so wonderful, Jeremy playing guitar so often. Thank you, Cantor, for inviting Jeremy. And this week's Torah portion, for me, is one of these portions that is a welcome and is an opening. The Parshat Pinchas, in the middle of it, introduces us to the daughters of Zelophehad. Their names are Machlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And what's so extraordinary about this, we generally are not introduced to so many people by name, and certainly not a group of women altogether. It becomes more important each time that it's said that they are the daughters of Zelophehad. Each and every one of their names are uttered. And so I often wonder why and how this could be, and what is this saying to us and inviting us to do? We learn about these extraordinary women who are the descendants of Joseph and come from his family line. And as we as a people are making our way to the promised land, and as we could imagine, as we make our way across the desert, there've been a lot of stumbling blocks, and perhaps thinking there is no opening, we're never actually going to arrive, it's taking forever. But then we get to this moment where it becomes so much more real, and we will enter the promised land. And these women have a challenge because the way that land was given over was through the line of the men. It's named and passed down by the men, and in their family, their father only had daughters. So what were they to do? They have this opportunity to make a decision. They could decide to just accept, okay, maybe they're not getting their portion. for some reason, they decide to raise their voices together and point out the injustice that's happening. They go forward, they stand before Moses. If that's not enough, then they stand before Eleazar, the priest, all of the heads, the chieftains of the tribes, and the entire assembly that is standing before Petach Ohel Moed, the opening of the tent of meeting, that place that gathers and draws the community together in holiness. And while they're standing there, they have to introduce themselves. And they tell their story. Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not one of those people who followed Korach, who banded together against God, but died for his own sins, and he left no sons. Do not let our father's name be lost for our clan just because he didn't have a son. Give us the holding among our father's kinsmen. And Moses brought the case before God. Pretty extraordinary that that would happen. They would have that courage to stand forward, and also that Moses takes this moment to bring it to God. And we know that Moses and the other leaders would oftentimes make decisions about rulings and things that were to happen, but this was very special. And it's quite possible it was above Moses' pay grade. It had to go to God. And when the case is brought forward to God, God makes the determination that the daughters of Zelophehad, Machlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah, were right, and that they are deserving of having the land. And not only that, but if this case comes up again in another situation, those women also will be given the land. It's interesting, too, wondering why no one else saw it. Moses didn't think of it himself, and in fact, the medieval commentator Rashi points out that Moses had to bring this case to God because it was concealed from him. He couldn't see it. And there are things like that that happen in our lives, in our personal lives. There are things like that in our society. And I know Rabbi Brown gave a pretty extraordinary sermon a few weeks ago discussing one of many social justice issues that we're facing today. And it seems as if there isn't an opening, or that there isn't a possibility, or that perhaps other people can't see the other side or the perspective. But these 5 women are a powerful reminder that that opening exists, that there are ways to help others to see. In many ways, this is a dream scenario that you hope would always come true. You have this idea, you have your courage, you go forward before the leaders, and your idea is not only acknowledged, but acknowledged by God. That would be pretty awesome. And we also know that does not happen every day. And that certainly doesn't happen even when we have dear friends, right? Sometimes you bring an issue, they just can't see what it is that you're saying. And so as we read these words and we hear about the courage and the willingness of Machlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah to see what is possible, may it inspire us to do the same. May it energize us. May it give us patience that we need. And may we have the courage to open our eyes more to one another's perspective. That's my wish for you on this Shabbat. So now we've had a chance to hear a little bit of the Torah portion. Now we will read the words from the Torah. We turn to page 246.
Please rise. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadolu Adonai iti, Uneramema Shemo Yakda. Lecha Adonai Hagedula, Hagevura v'hatiferet, v'hanetzach v'hahod. Kicho b'shamayim uvaretz, Kicho b'shamayim uvaretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, v'hamit naseh lechol erosh. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim haolam umid. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim haolam umid. Al haTorah ve'al havodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al havodah ve'al gemilut chasadim.
You may be seated. We decided today just feels like a wonderful day to do the Torah blessings together. So I invite all of you to join me in the blessings.
Page 250.
Thank you. So helpful. Okay.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach, Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Vatikrevna banot Zalafachad, ben Chafar, ben Gilad, ben Makir, ben Menashe, Lemishpachat Menashe, ben Yosef, ve'ela shemot benotav, Machla, Noah, Chogla, Umilcha, Tirza, v'ta'amod na lifnei Moshe, v'lifnei Eliezer HaKohen, v'lifnei hanesaim, v'kol ha'edah, petach ohel moed, lemor. Avinu met bamidbar, v'hu lo haya b'toch ha'edah hanoadim al Adonai, be'edah korach. Ki b'chet'o met, ubanim lo hayu lo laman, Yigra Sham Avinu, mitoch mishpachoto, ki en lo ben, Tana lanu, Achuza betoch achi Avinu, v'yakriv Moshe, et mishpatan lifnei Adonai. The daughters of Zelophehad, of the Manassite family, the son of Hephar, the son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, son of Yosef, came forward. The names of the daughters were Machlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the chieftains, and the whole assembly at the entrance of the tent of meeting. And they said, "Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not one of the faction, Korach's faction, which banded together against the Lord, but died for his own sins. And for he has no sons. Let not our father's name be lost to his clan, just because he had no sons. Give us a holding among our father's kinsmen." And Moses brought the case before Adonai. Please join me in the blessings for after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. While we have the Torah out, we take this opportunity, since the Torah brings us together in community, to think of those who are in need of a prayer for healing, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual healing. We'll invite you in the middle of the Misha B'Yarach prayer, if there's someone you're thinking of at that time, to share the name aloud or in the quiet of your heart. Page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
I invite you to share the names.
Kathy Meyerson. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen.
We continue on page 256.
Please rise. Vizot Torah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe. Yadalai lai lai, yadalai lai lai, yadalai lai 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 lai, yadalai lai lai, yadalai lai lai lai, yadalai lai lai lai.
ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Etz chaim hi למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדיש חדיש ימינו חדיש ימינו כקדם.
Continue on page 282 with Yaleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתקדו לה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כחמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated.
Page 290. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be. To be and, oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. On this moment, we think about our loved ones, those who have died recently, especially remember Anthony Lianza, and those who have died at this season in the year that has passed. Sylvia S. Berg, Richard Friedman, Clarence Guerin, Esther Jo Greenberg, Herbert W. Hers, Sarah Horovitz, Saul Istroff, Donald Kalish, Pauline Klein, Phyllis Klein, Benjamin R. Krieger, Milton Litt, Joseph Love, Sadie Miller, Eleanor Meerman Nadel, Jackie Berg Nyman, Ike Reeder, Max Rogovy, Beatrice Schwartz, Rachel H. Smith, Joan Maxine Solomon, Judith Ann Sweet, Hulda Tucholsky, Eva Walker, Harry M. Zabel, and if there's anyone who you're remembering at this moment, or if I mispronounce someone's name and you'd like to share it, I invite you to share it now. We join together as one community in consolation and support as we rise, page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei, v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv, v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'olam u'amei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, shmei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, L'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to all of us, all of Israel, and all peoples, as we say together, amen. Can we be
Having
seated?
connected with those who we've loved and lost, we now bless upon you the blessing of the priests.
May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
Amen. We invite the Ackmans back up for the Kiddush and the Motzi. Please remain standing.
The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagadol.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho v'yahavahu v'ratzon hikri lanu, zikaron l'maaseh Bereshit, Kihu Yam Tehila, Lamikra Kodesh, Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu V'charta, V'yotanu Kidasha, Mikol Ha'anim, V'Shabbat Kodesh-Cha, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Please uncover the challah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
You may be seated. We're honored to call up one of the co-presidents, Elaine Newman, for a few announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi Stacy Schlein, Jeremy Sosin. We are so glad that you feel welcome here, and you are welcome back anytime, both of you. Thank you, Cantor Kathy, too. Thank you to the Ackmans for blessing everything tonight, the candles, the wine, and the challah. Sisterhood Shabbat is coming August 5th. They're sponsoring a barbecue after the service. The menu can be found in the weekly email, so please sign up. Akron Pride March is August 27th. If you'd like to march, please call Carol Freeman, and I'm sure that's also on our website. And again, there's no Torah study tomorrow. And believe it or not, we're taking religious school registration for anybody watching out there. Contact Lauren Trexler. Shabbat Shalom.
And since you just brought that up about religious school registration, and since I work at the Jewish Education Center of Cleveland, I want you to know your program is incredible, and Lauren has been doing a phenomenal job. So if you haven't signed up yet, you should totally sign up. And even if people aren't religious school age, they should call Lauren anyway just to talk to her. Maybe you can sign up too.
We close with Ojivo Shalom Aleinu. Feel free to clap your hands and sing. Ojivo Shalom Aleinu. 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 Ve'al kulam. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. Salam. Ojivo Shalom Aleinu. Ojivo Shalom Aleinu. Ojivo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Ojivo Shalom Aleinu. Ojivo Shalom Aleinu. Ojivo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.